Hello everyone. I promised myself I would never make a video like this, but in honor of the 776 subscribers that have joined the Fire Emblem channel, I will be doing today a video ranking the top 10 ships in Fire Emblem. This is a huge discourse across the series for every forum of Fire Emblem community. Everybody wants to say which is their favorite ship, and today I'm going to go through my top 10 ships in the series. At number 10. I'm going to go with the aquatic capital Darr. I really put this at number 10 only because it's a pathetic excuse for a ship. It's not really a ship that's utilized at all, like the enemies start on it but you don't. And the map itself can't really be classified as a ship map, but some people will argue it is because there is a ship and some people start on it and you can attack it and you can attack from it, but it's not really a ship map at all. It is pretty cool that you get to fight Claude on either route that you take this through or Arundel, but not a very good ship. At number 9, Invasion from Fire Emblem Fates Conquest. There really just isn't anything that sets out from this map in terms of being a ship. It is a ship and you're on it and you have to defend this ship, but the enemies coming in aren't really that impressive. The boss itself is Shura, so I guess the best argument you have is like, do you like boots? Okay, yes, no, maybe so. The enemies are not that strong. You're already at a point of the game in which you're very, very powerful compared to the units, and you can easily repel this attack. Not one of my favorite ships. Number 8, Pirate Raid from Fire Emblem Echoes. I mean, this map is a classic ship map, and the plot twist of the Pirate Raid being the ones with the enchanters that can keep summoning people is pretty cool. But the map itself is a little bit too much of a slog. There's only a little choke that the characters can go through, and at this point you have magic, which basically destroys absolutely everything. So it's not really one of those ship maps that I think is very good, so that's why we're going to place her here at number 8. At number 7, To the Sea, Fire Emblem Fates, Birthright. I actually kind of do like it, but mostly just because of the addition of Reina. It's very much similar to the other ship maps that you've seen so far, but Reina is a very, very powerful character that can easily trivialize the content that's been put out at this point. Reina is also very fast, and the Kinshi Knight class is incredible, and the ship map is actually interesting because it tackles against other flying units, so you have to kind of really be able to control your ranges correctly. So I think it's an upgrade in comparison to the other ship that we've seen so far. Number 6, the Frozen Sea, Fates Revelations. I have a pretty funny story with this. This actually became one of my favorite maps because I've been doing a campaign in which we basically have a D&D-esque kind of style with Fire Emblem Fates engine, and on this map I managed to survive in a situation that we were not going to be able to survive at all by just using smart tactics, and I really like the application of the dragon veins on this. So there's like a personal preference here, and that's why I put this map so highly. I do like the mechanic of the dragon veins becoming available and allowing you to create land so that you can then transverse over to be able to fight back. So it actually is a pretty interesting map in that regard. I think it's the better of the Fates maps and probably one of the best ships. At number 5, The Cold Voyage by Engage. So I think this is the midpoint. I actually don't mind this map at all. I do think it's relatively trivial though, because the enemies don't really present any sort of danger in terms of pressure from either side of the boat, because you can just kind of hold off in the middle and easily pick enemies off, or just hit and run strategies so that you can avoid a lot of stuff, and the cannon in the center can control the threat ranges from other enemies. So it's not really like you're struggling to beat this map, and I don't like that it's kind of easy to get through it without having to put yourself out in danger. It is cool that you get to recruit Linden because he has some very interesting different builds with his crit. This map is kind of like in the middle for me in terms of ships, and it's probably exactly where it needs to be. At number 4, I'll go ahead and put in chapter 17 of FE7. This chapter is super interesting because you get the Black Fang basically just spamming you with a bunch of reinforcements from all sides. And if you're an old school Fire Emblem player, this is the first time you've been introduced to a boat map, so it's probably very nostalgic in that regard. There is a lot of pressure coming in from a couple of Pegasus Knights. The units are actually pretty strong on Hector's hard mode, and it usually leads to somebody dying in Iron Man's. The map itself also has the last shops for a while, so you really want to stock up and buy as much as you can while dealing with all these threats and trying to get that guiding ring from Zoldam. So it's a pretty cool map with a bunch of little side objectives, along with the fact that as a ship, it's iconic. It's one of the best ships out there. It's not the best ship, but it's definitely on the better half, so we're putting it at number 4. At number 3, I'm going to go ahead and say it's the Ghost Ship. The Ghost Ship is a very cool map in Fire Emblem 8. It combines Fog of War with enemies that have absurd range, along with the fact that you can't really see anything, and Lara Cho spawns in it and you have to try to save her. That is impressive. Just think about the fact that you have to cross from one boat all the way to the other boat in order to be able to save a unit that's underleveled and very weak and probably will die without your intervention. As far as it goes, it's one of the most challenging experiences, especially in an Iron Man since you can't see, but the key to these maps is always to use torches so that you can see ahead and be able to plan ahead of your strategy. The ghost ship is indeed very, very iconic, very difficult, and definitely deserves number 3. At number 2, we have Flames on the Blue from Awakening. A very, very interesting ship in which you have to actually utilize the choke points in order to avoid being overwhelmed, along with the combination of your dual strike and dual guard abilities. It is actually a very, very easy chapter to get destroyed on in Lunatic because of the high stats. But if you know how to control your land correctly and know how to take space properly, you can basically shut down any enemy formation that tries to come in. And also, it kind of shows how smart Robin is, because in the end, he just uses this as a method to destroy the Valmy's fleet. So story-wise, the interaction of this ship in particular is very, very fantastic. I love this ship. I think it's one of the best ships out there. It is the second best ship in the game, but it's not the first. A Strange Land on FE9 is going to be the honorable mention. It's not really a ship map because you're kind of beached, right? So do you really even consider it a ship map? You could kind of walk off and just fight from land, but for some reason they prefer to just do it on the boat. So I don't really know if this is considerable for terms of shipping, but the enemies are too equal. They're just ravens and they just fly, and there's nothing really cool going on besides the fact that you're baiting them out turn after turn after turn, and some turns you even wait doing nothing until they arrive. So it's just an honorable mention in terms of ship. Unlike our number 1 spot, we have the best ship in the game, which is the Astrid and Gatri map in Fire Emblem 9. I love this map a lot. I think it's really cool. It can lead to instant game overs in Iron Man if you don't know how to properly do it. You have to shove someone up so that you can block the little spot that the enemies can seize. And most people don't know this, but the Ravens can actually seize as well, which usually leads to an instant game over. The chapter is very hard. You have to use correctly positioning in order to prevent enemies from coming in and just pouring through the map, while you're also trying to steal the chests on the map. And it's just one of those really, really, really interesting and cool maps that you have in the series. Along with that, you get Astrid and Gatri. Gatri's okay, but Astrid is a fantastic unit. She can easily contribute to your army. It may seem like a little bit of a chore, but it's really good to see. This ship is so good that there are actually 3 ships across, and it requires all of your strategy to be able to maximize everything that you can do on this ship. The best ship in the game. Well, that was it. That is my top 10 ship list in Fire Emblem. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. But for real though, this has been quite the adventure. We have reached the mark of 776 subscribers, and I want to thank each and every one of you for participating in this and for allowing me to reach this mark and to be able to put this video out as in honor of the Fire Emblem community. I really, really do appreciate the community itself, and my goal as a content creator is to just continue to grow and really try to reach out and create as much discourse as possible while also keeping it lighthearted and having fun. I want to thank you guys once again, and I hope to see you soon, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.